Hey there, Aries fam, how you be? Let's check in on the vibes that you may still have to look forward to in the month of May 2025. And I can tell you that I've already been seeing cards like the Eight of Pentacles and such. So there's something, while I was pre-shuffling, there's something that you've been working on. And that kind of feels like such a theme for so many of us this month, that there are things that you have been working on that are finally, you're starting to see those glimpses of the fruition that you've been waiting for. So let's get into it. Okie dokie. Sorry, pre-shuffled. Let's go ahead and begin with the archetypes like we do around here. That's a thick deck like the tarot, so cutting in three, pulled the middle to the top. And first thing I'm seeing is the Temple reversed. So I guess the question is, what does the Temple mean for you? You know what I mean? What does it mean when you see this card? And what does it mean to see it upside down? Right? Is that your body? Is that how you treat yourself? Or have you been coming to realize that that's not how you've been treating yourself, and you may be dealing with consequences a wee bit? The next card is the River. Now this one, it's kind of heading to the left for me. And to me, the left represents the past and the right represents the future. That's just how I do things. So to me, there's something about the past that is needing to be washed away. And since that's the second card, it's kind of like it's leaning toward the Temple. So that speaks, it can speak of health, your actual physical health, and how well you've been feeling, how well you've been taking care of yourself, that it's a concern, that you recognize that there are some changes that are needing to be made. But the thing about the river, though, like, is that water, that element is so cleansing. It's a very natural way to like watch it. There are so many guided meditations involving waterfall, right? And that's more the angle that we're coming at with this card, or at least that's what I'm feeling with the Temple reversed and that River card. Like maybe there are just unhealthy habits, unhealthy coping mechanisms, things that you did, the ways that you behaved and handled and lived before you really knew any better, you know, before your logic and everything else was able to catch up and fully process, right? And what's on the bottom? We have the Maiden on the bottom, perfectly upright and all that good. Like, think of the Maiden in the trifecta of the Maiden, Mother, Crone. Think of that young maiden who may or may not be in distress because she just keeps getting into just stepping in it, right? Oh no, she's at a different castle, right? So, but there's that awe to life, that wonder, right? So even though this may be new territory for you, don't lose sight of the adventure that you're on this point of your adventure, because we're always on the right path. We're always figuring things out, and at the very least, gaining wisdom and strength and resiliency and all of those things. So whatever's going on with you and what Temple represents and what you're really needing to just cleanse yourself of, at least figuratively, right? That's more what we're leaning toward. You and your body. But like, in the scope of a fresh new beginning, right? A new chapter and all that good. Let's see about the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck. And we have Nostalgia. Focus on the here and now. There we go. Let's be present. Just jam it up there. Why not? Pardonnez-moi. There's so much to think about at this point in life. Make sure that you're still able to be present in the moment. Don't get lost in the sauce. Don't get lost in the emotions of the past when things are coming up. Like as we're going through our healing journeys, and it's been such a time of transformation this past season, right? And now, at least here on the northern hemisphere, we're going into spring. And whereas in the southern hemisphere, it's getting a bit colder. And either way, it's a literal shift in seasons that are happening on the planet and nature. So wherever you may be, just remember to be present in the moment. Savor this moment, because this moment has new opinions, new reactions, new feelings, new experiences for you, right? We like to think that the worst is behind you and now it's time to learn from positive experiences. And the next card is Feast. What did I just say? Slow down and celebrate yourself, fam. Look at you. You've been through so much. And here you are coming out the other end. I feel like this this round of doing the monthly astrological signs and those particular community reads has been for so many of us such a time of the aftermath. Now that we've had our tower moments, all these big changes in our lives and difficult decisions that we're making, and remembering or learning how to trust ourselves, right? Like, honor how far you've come, how much you've learned, how strong and resilient you truly are. Don't just let the words kind of, hang in the air, right? Like, it can be really difficult when you're in the middle of it and people are like, oh, you're so strong, you're such an inspiration. It's like, we tend to not feel that strong in the moment, right? But I mean, you're an Aries, but you're human too. And just remember to do your thing. Don't freight train right now. Take it back. Take it back a notch so that you're not missing things, and be present in the moment. On the bottom of that is the Witch card. Justice is coming. Well then. So if this is something that you did that you're going to be dealing with some consequences for, take it with some grace. Use it as a moment, kind of like the Hanged Man, to, well, while I'm here, I might as well enlighten. You know what I mean? I might as well enlighten and learn and figure out what the... But odds are someone did something and karma's coming into play. Karma's going to karma and do its thing, right? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You got your own stuff going on, and know that those checks and balances are happening even if it's behind the scenes and you don't get to bear witness, okay? Let's see if we can get even more clarification with some tarot. And I like the archetype deck. I'm going to split it in 3 and pull the middle to the top. I like to think of tarot as its own story. So let's see what chapter 1 is. I mentioned unhealthy coping mechanisms, didn't I, fam? I keep trying to cover up this couple on this card, and then editing and shaking my head at myself because you can just see everything. I don't think YouTube's gonna be happy, but it's Kitty. You got an opinion over there, Cookie Mouse? Meow. Dang it, YouTube. You're making her feisty. So this card speaks of unhealthy coping mechanisms, unhealthy habits, things that are self-inflicted and detrimental to ourselves, negative self-talk, ways of thinking, that toxicity, right? Addictions. And the thing... Oh man, I don't know how to do this without... The thing about this couple here is that chain that's between them, like right there, it's very slack. Like they're just, vibing. Do they even realize they're not, this isn't even the Lovers card right now? This is they have no idea where the heck they even are. Anytime that we have like this black background on a card, it speaks of like a dark night of the soul. It speaks of depression, maybe even some mourning with a U for loss, right? And it's also, vibe check, it's also a very earth card. This is a Capricorn representation card. And that can speak of this physical material realm. So positive flip side, we can speak of manifestations finally finding their way. This is feeling very past tense though. So I'm kind of leaning toward the more literal or the usual vibe of this card and speaking, because since I feel like it's just confirmation from something that I said earlier, right? Chapter 2, I gotta cover some stuff again, is the Star card. Damn. This card showing up after this card, are you kidding me? That is exactly what the Star is about. It appears in readings after you've been dealing with a dark night of the soul, really difficult times, violent transformations is something, or words that I'm pretty sure I read in a book talking about this card, right? And the Hermit card, for example, inside of his lantern is the Star. It's that inner light within you that isn't meant to be stifled and dimmed. It's meant to shine. It's meant to shine. Come on out of the dark and shine, no matter where you are in that dark. Rather than grab a shovel and dig deeper, shine. There's something going on there that you need to acknowledge, that you need to process and work through, because you don't belong down there. And you've been coming to recognize that. And that's why we're being very careful about what we're thinking on, what we're dwelling or ruminating on throughout the day, right? That disassociation that we didn't even realize was dissociation. You know what I mean? And shine. This isn't a time to blend in and tether yourself. This is a time to shine like a beacon. This card represents hopes and dreams. You're meant to shine. You're not meant to be stifled. Chapter 3 is the Seven of Cups. There's so much that you want to do, right? But what are the dreams that you wish to be able to relax to? And what are the dreams that you want to draw into your reality? What does it take to enable those daydreams, those fantasies to come down into this material plane? What are the things that you really truly want to manifest? Do you still dig it? Or have you evolved to a point where it's not the same and really you can live without it just fine? You know what I mean? And not wanting to make the wrong choice, right? This person is all blacked out because they might be a little bit worried. Like, is this all an illusion? Is it worth the effort? What are we doing here? You're listening to your intuition. If you need help, you have that kind of support system in place to be able to turn to, hopefully. And if you don't, I think you still do, because I believe the whole dang universe is right there. You know what I mean? Like, what makes your soul purr? And trust that. Know that you have what it takes. You are capable. You are capable, right? And you've come so far, and you deserve to feel as capable as you truly are. My goodness gracious, you are an Aries. Chapter 4. I love that this fella is just sitting here looking back over all of this, from the Seven of Cups through the Star right on over to the Devil card. And that's the King of Wands. The King and Queen of Wands, like any royalty, you know, they've made their way through the experiences of their suit, right? And these two are very much so the representation of things like the phoenix rising through the ashes. And like this, he even has a salamander buddy down here, representing how fire no longer affects them. Doesn't even bother them. Deflect. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not a problem anymore. All of that crap from the past doesn't even phase anymore, because they've been there and they've learned from it. They have there's still that fiery passion, but it's backed up with things like courage and strength and resiliency. It could really suck gathering those sides of yourself, your personality, your being. But here we are, making it to the other side and still on an adventure, right? What's going to come up underneath that Devil card? There we go. There's the Six of Swords, taking all of that wisdom, all of that mental clarity that you've gained through life and your past mistakes that you're just simply not going to make again because you've learned from them. And moving on. I like to ask, like, who are these people in the boat? Can they represent actual people in your life? Or are they the different sides of yourself? The side of you that's capable of nurturing, as well as or the side of you that you protect, the sides, plural. Sorry, have you seen Four Rooms? Anyway, it's a good one. Now I'm just thinking of different quotes from Tim Roth in that movie. Moving away from the choppy waters and all the crap that you've dealt with in the past into the calm waters and peace of mind and such, right? Propelling yourself forward away from those bad habits or addictions and whatnot. The things that you may not have been proud of that, are part of your learning experience, a part of your evolution. And that's different. That's all a perception thing. Remember that. That's all a perception thing. And underneath the star is the Page of Cups. Need to lighten up. This is your reminder that you're supposed to be enjoying life again. And I'm pretty sure the last time I mentioned that was when I was talking about the Star card. We're coming up out of those dark times, those difficult times. And remembering how to laugh, remembering how to enjoy yourself, learning how to. Really, truly, when was the last time that you laughed just wholeheartedly, full, weren't so concerned about how you sounded, right? And kind of caught yourself like, whoa, it's been a while, right? When was the last time that you were able to laugh that good? Without being self-conscious and just let it go, because it seems like you're being reminded you need to giggle, you need to laugh, whatever type of humor you have, you need to let that funny bone get tickled a wee bit. This person is talking to a fish. I just can't take it seriously. If this is representing an actual person, they may be younger than you, and there may be a message that they're bringing into your life. They may or may not even realize how impactful it can be on your life. It may involve love, creativity, emotions, and such. And when we get into the royalty with the cup suit, these are people who have that emotional maturity, that emotional intelligence. Intelligence feels better here. And they're not getting lost in the sauce. They're not getting lost when they think of the past. They're not getting lost and reclaimed by the feelings that they experienced back then anymore. It's only wisdom, right? If this is someone, don't worry so much about long-term and stuff like that. If, it's a new relationship. This may just be someone who is meant to remind you of how to be present and how to enjoy the present, how to savor the present and not take life so seriously. Something tells me that in the month of May, you need to not take life so seriously. It's been too serious for a while, and it's time. This is the part in the process where we're lightening it up and we're getting those higher vibrations just boom, in sync, right? Underneath the Seven of Cups is the 10 of Wands. So this is the card where there's been a lot of hard work, right? And a lot of burnout factor going on. You may have difficulty saying no and putting up boundaries, and not only are others apparently finding it difficult to respect those boundaries, but you are yourself, right? Whether you're a people pleaser or not, you're very, very tired and you really could use a break. This is the end of a cycle full of really hard work. This person is so tired and worn out, but they are almost there. They're almost home. They're almost done. This is the ending of that cycle. And that's coming up underneath the Seven of Cups. So I feel like you know that there's a new cycle that's beginning. When one ends, another begins. And it's like you're unsure of where you're going to go once this is done. And that may be stressing you out a little bit. But this is a time for you to know that it's going to be okay, that you can handle it. However things happen, you can handle things accordingly and in the best way. You can trust yourself to make good decisions because of everything that you've learned, right? What's going to come up underneath that King of Wands? The Death card. Wow. Let's emphasize that transition, right? When one ending happens, a new beginning is there. Something, because there's this religious type of person in this imagery that's kind of like, whoa, with them, right? The battle's done. Who are you fighting? No one. No one. There's no battle anymore. There's no one to fight. Nothing like this shirt. Nothing like this shirt, okay? Don't worry about it. It just was hanging in the closet. So that coming up under the King of Wands, I feel really emphasizes that Phoenix rising from the ashes vibe, right? All of that angst and anger and frustration, that survival mode can just melt away. It can just wash away, shed some tears, exorcise the demon out of your heart, out of your life, out of your mind, right? Reignite that flame within you, which I think is exactly what you've been doing. So I'm not worried about that. Can you guess what the epilogue card is for this story, fan? It's the actual Lovers card. Wow, we started off with this couple in the Devil card. And now we have them in the Lovers. Wow. Transformation indeed. Holy crap, fam. Okay. Now I know it's the Lovers. It's this couple. This what can actually be. Because first and foremost, when it comes to things like love in the tarot, first and foremost is self-love. Love begins with us. So this has been a journey of healing and learning how to take care of yourself. This is a new chapter that you've been recognizing how your mind and your passion really are meant to help you, not deter, not hinder, and not disable. They're meant to enable you, right? No manipulation, no negativity, right? Just you're capable of the hard work, and you know that you just need to do the work and get it done. But because like there's the other things represented in the Lovers card with glimpses of it still present in the Devil card. Again, with the coughing, this is only the first of three. What's going on here? Throat chakra, what's happening? We not only have the couple, we not only have this angel above them, watching over them. We have the Tree of Life and the Tree of Knowledge represented. This beautiful blue background, right? That golden sun at the top with that conscious awareness and that deep blue background. All right. And for me right now, I feel like that's really emphasizing your healing process and how far you've managed to come. You know, it may have felt awkward and hokey and woo-woo at first for some, but you stuck to it. You knew that everything else you've tried didn't freaking work for you. It just didn't cut it. And you've been figuring out what does make your soul purr. A's need to keep going. You're doing it. You're doing the thing. This is such an encouraging reading for you to continue taking care of yourself. You're getting to that nitty gritty. I keep telling people, like, we're not playing with band-aids anymore. We've been getting to those root issues, and you need to remember to honor that and laugh again. Enjoy your life again, okay? Let's check. Wait, what's on the bottom of the tarot? I almost forgot. The King of Swords. There we go. There's a lot of masculine energy going on. There are cards providing a balancing act, but there is some good masculine energy happening. There's shit getting done. That's more the outward type energy. We all have that duality within us of internal affairs. You know what I mean? Like the intuition, that nurturing, that compassion, that empathy. But we're also, in our own ways, capable of handling things. And you've really been balancing things out. There are no pentacles here because it's been more so about your mind and your passion that have been going on, and like getting things right within yourself. And you're doing it. You are doing it. Did I already cut the deck? Or did I just pull them out? I think I already cut the deck. We have, I only have eyes for you. My little note on there is the word loyalty. There's someone, for someone, who is going to teach you what loyalty is. So my question to you is, are you open to that? If you are open to love coming into your life, whether it's romantic or soul family vibes, either way, right? Are you open to that? Because this person is going to show you, whomever this resonates with, what loyalty really looks like, what it really can be in the most wonderful, wholesome, respectful, healthy relationship way that I could possibly mean that. And then we have, put away your laundry before judging me. Okay, thanks. Someone else may be trying to talk some smack and they have no room to talk and they just need to calm down. Okay, thanks. On the bottom of that deck is, it's not safe to go alone. You gotta have faith. But I reference the Vampire Slayer Faith, who is not in that title, is she? But she is a character that kind of like, she goes through such a process over the course of not only the series Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but that spin-off show Angel. We get to see this character really grow from someone who wasn't really cared for and, you know, taken care of, provided for, guided by people who really cared for her. And the difference of being able to recognize and the struggle to be able to recognize when you are in the midst of people who do genuinely care, who are a support system, and the way different people can handle that kind of struggle and such, right? Like, it's a whole process for this character. And so that is kind of representing what someone has been going through, where you have such strength, whether you feel like it at times or not. You have such strength. And you're at a point where you're beginning to really recognize the connection of things, that maybe there really isn't a thing such as coincidence. And there really are these odds and ends types of connections that you are a part of, right? And learning how to open up to that and nurture yourself and your life, and taking all of that incredible energy that you've always possessed and letting it be as positive and carefree as it's capable of, and has always been capable of. But now you're not the person you were anymore. You know better, right? This is going to be great, right? Oh, Sam, look at your growth. This is such a month. It's like, if we want to talk about like growth spurts and stuff, this is such an incredible month for that. You're meant to shine like a beacon. Literally shine like a beacon and surround yourself with love. Surround yourself with positive vibes, right? Don't worry about what you're not experiencing. Revel in what you are, right? That you, every day you continue to have choices. You continue to have options, right? You continue to breathe. And may you have every option you ever need available to you at all times, my friend. So says me. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate the company. And always remember that I believe in you.